The Great Resignation. So many people just quit and walk away, but today's guest, Ashley Goode, she had a plan, and that plan has led her to become an entrepreneur. She has a full service marketing agency, and look out, Charlotte, North Carolina. She's also looking at starting up a co working space. My guest today, Ashley Goode, after these announcements. PodcastAcademyOnline.com is a virtual academy that graduates podcasters. 8 weeks long, live online group sessions heavy on how-to instruction, information, and accountability. Graduate with your custom designed functioning podcast. PodcastAcademyOnline.com, designed with the adult learner in mind. Schedule a free consultation and visit the website, PodcastAcademyOnline.com. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode, Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Well, as promised, once a month, I am bringing you the story of someone who's gone through the great resignation, the reshuffle, or maybe, just maybe, they have reinvented themselves and they want to come on and tell their story. Who can tell a story like the person who's been there, done that, doing it? So today I have Ashley Goode. She is a young lady, but let me tell you, she has a plan. She's executing it, and her story is just downright exciting. So welcome, Ashley, and just jump right in. Tell us your story. Who are you, dear lady, and why we need to be on the lookout for you?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk to everyone. So I'm Ashley Goode. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a little bit of all types of businesses, but mainly I have a marketing agency where I help brands build their platform on social media. Right now in the area of social media, when it comes to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, that area. We also help, launch websites and as well as launch marketing plans as well. And outside of that, I'm currently in the process of building a startup company for a co-working space for women of color called the Boss Lounge Collective. So that's who I am. My story.
Yeah.
My story.
Before you get into
Yeah.
your story, tell
Okay.
the people what wonderful city you are building after Boss Lounge. I'm sure it's going to stay digital, but you're probably going to get brick and mortar. What city needs to be on the lookout for that great
Yes.
business?
So Charlotte, North Carolina, y'all gonna be on the lookout for the co-working space. Right now we're digital, but we are trying to crowdfund to open it in Charlotte. So that's the first location. I'm hoping to extend, across the US, but that is where the baby's gonna be born for right now.
That works. Tell us all about yourself.
Yeah, so my story of the Great Resignation was honestly just spur of the moment. I knew I always wanted to do it. I didn't know it was going to be right away as fast as it was. But I had been working in Charlotte. I moved from Los Angeles, California to Charlotte in 2017 and have been working in different industries. One that really stuck out to me was property management. So I got into property management, I think early 2018. I was loving it and enjoying it. Also trying to run my business on the side, but my business never really started generating a lot of income. So I was like, let me focus on a career path that is manageable, the income is consistent, and I can kind of get to know people in the area because I was new. So in the first couple of months were good, but as I got into it, I realized I was the only Black woman in the space, and it was very difficult to exist. Because when you're around people who are your non-Black counterparts, it's really hard for them to understand your experience. Experiencing things from just microaggressions to my hair or to my turbans, just uncomfortable questions. Management was very micromanaging. It just was a very uncomfortable situation. So I was like, okay, well, I can't exist here. I love what I do. So maybe I should transfer to a different location because there were different properties. So I was like, okay, good. I was able to transfer to another property, but I still found the same issue. Although I was in a different space, I was still getting the same issues with microaggressions and things like that. And then they hired someone else who was Black. So I was like, okay, cool. But then now we're going through it together. So I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I always wanted to launch my business, but I never really had the time to do it because the job was so demanding and stressful to the point where I didn't have any energy after I got off work. So I was trying and trying and trying. I was like, It's not working. But luckily the pandemic hit in 2020, sorry. It wasn't, it was a hard experience, of course, for everybody. But for me, that was my opportunity. I was still working because I was an essential worker, but a lot of my work wasn't demanded to the job because not a lot of the residents needed many help. A lot of people weren't searching for apartments at the time because unfortunately people were impacted financially and stuff like that. So most of my time was spent just, making sure that everybody was okay with paying their rent and checking in on them. So I had more time to work on my business on the job. Probably not the best thing to do. Luckily, I didn't get caught, but it helped me actually define what I wanted to do with my life so I could reinvent my life and reinvent myself. So that was the time that I was really actual to create a new business plan, figure out what I wanted to do, really just root myself into getting serious about quitting my job, because before it was a dream, but it wasn't something that was tangible to me. So finally, towards the end of 2020, I was like, all right, can't go into another year of this job. What really hit me was because we're now getting, in the beginning of the pandemic, you're not really face to face with your customers. So we were just working in our office, but towards the end of the year, they were lifting like a lot of the regulations. So we had to start becoming face to face with them. So I was like, I'm not mentally even ready because I've been in the house and I've been in this office for the whole time. I don't even think I can mentally prepare for something like that. So I was like, I have to get out because I don't know what life is going to look like again. And I can't be in a space where I'm just very uncomfortable. And then like, of course, during the pandemic, I lost a lot of family members. So it was like kind of like a life check. Like life is too short. I can't be doing this forever. I'm not happy. So at the top of the year, I was like, all right, it's go time. I'm going to launch my business. This is going to be it. So I launched my marketing agency with my eyes closed because I was so scared. But I stepped out on faith. And I mean, the first week I got a lot of inquiries. Some of them didn't stick. Some of them did. But I was able to put in a plan financially to save enough money, make sure that I had enough just clients to retain my money to pay my bills. And I was like, all right, July, I'm quitting my job. So July came, I quit my job and I was doing my business full time. I'm still here 7 months later. So I like to think I'm doing a good job. I mean, there's been ups and downs. I lost some clients, I had to let go of some clients, but I'm really now in a space where I can say I signed my first big client today. So I'm really excited. So wow. I feel like I'm constantly, I guess, reinventing myself and learning more about myself. So wow, that is my story.
Yeah, I tell you, I love it, love it, love it. And I would venture to say that the pandemic, though we did lose a lot of people along the way, it really was a blessing. It was a life check. It was it offered an opportunity to shift. And there's still time. I mean, marketing is the blood of a business. So by you being able to sustain yourself through change and move and still be around, I would say that you're a pretty savvy marketer also. And you offer up some really good branding information to people. I haven't seen your work, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I'll go out on a limb and say Ashley Goode is the person to check out these days. So where does a person find you, Ashley?
Yeah, so you can find me at Ashley M. Goode on Instagram. That'll have my link in the bio, so it'll have all the connections to my different platforms. And then I'm also Ashley Goode on YouTube, where I provide free content and tips every single week.
Oh, wow. 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 Is that, you're doing that by way of course, video? Are you putting that up under the name of a podcast, or how you're just putting it out there going live?
Oh, no. So actually, it's underneath my name, Ashley Goode. So if you type it in YouTube, I should pop up. So it's my own channel. And then I just create weekly videos and you're able to watch. There's so much in the catalog. So if you're a new entrepreneur, or if you need help building content, marketing yourself, especially if you're in the early stages of just trying to do it yourself and you can't hire anybody right now, I definitely give you a lot of tutorials and walkthroughs of how to get started in your business.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm not a strong proponent of YouTube, but I tell you what, you have to have something to help you. You have to have something to help you get going. And before I let you go, you made mention of your co-working space, the Boss Lounge Collective. Yeah. And while it's digital, while you're looking for, and it's going to its formative stages, what are your feelings on us being able to support each other, especially women of color in business? How important is that? How mandatory is that?
Yes, I like that word, mandatory. I think it's mandatory because we don't have, I'm not going to say we don't have support, but looking at history, it's lackluster when it comes to supporting the Black woman, even within our own community, which could be very trivial. So I think all we got is us for real. Like, if you have to support your sister, because if she doesn't have anybody in her corner, let alone in society, how can she thrive? I think it's just connection is important. Like just having somebody to talk to when you're down, having somebody to bounce ideas off of when you want to start a new business venture. Like it's so important to pour into each other and support each other. So that way we can continue to move forward and, not be stagnant in our lives.
To me, that's the main reason why a person should seek you out, because this thing of marketing and the coaching that you're able to put on, and you seem to be a woman that has done a lot, and you built a business plan. You know what some of the pitfalls are. You know what the emotional roller coaster looks like. So once again, I'm going on a limb, and I would say reach out to Ashley just so that you can stay connected with somebody who's been there, done that, doing it, and continues to go through, because entrepreneurship is tough. Hey, anybody who says it's not, it's a walk in the park, you better run away from them. Right. So, with this thing of the co-working space, I see where that goes hand in hand with where you've been and what you're doing. So I want to thank you for coming and telling your truth, sharing your truth. What's one last nugget of gold that you want to leave with everybody?
Yeah. If you've been thinking about starting a business, to start it. There's no perfect time. I think sometimes we think we should have X amount of money in our bank account. We need to have all our ducks in a row, all the connections. The first thing you have to do is just start it, whether it's creating an Instagram page, launching the website, even talking to somebody that can help you, or you can contact me if you have any questions. It's important that you just start it, because fear will tell you a bunch of lies. But the truth is you just got to keep pushing forward and just start your business anyway.
Sound and sage advice. And I hope that people hear you, because there will never be a perfect time to do anything.
At all. At all.
Wow. I tell you, I put out a clarion call, ladies and gentlemen, and to let you know that this great resignation piece, I'm doing that all year long. People, men and women, I want men and women to come on, tell their story, because as I said, nobody can tell that story of inspiration and truth like the person that's been there, done that, doing it. So thank you, Ashley Goode. And everybody, I will see you next week with a brand new episode. Her business, her voice, her conversation. Bye-bye now. I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do right now. Go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.